All right. If relativity theory is correct, no object can travel forward in time at a speed greater than the speed of light. Okay. Yet, quantum mechanics predicts that the tachyon, a hypothetical subatomic particle, travels faster than light. Thus, if relativity theory is correct, either quantum mechanics prediction about tachyons is erroneous or tachyons travel backwards in time. Okay. The pattern of reasoning in which one of the following arguments is most similar to the argument above. Okay, so I'm going to write this out. So if it's correct, then no object can travel forward in time.
So
Okay. Forward, fast.
So yeah, so premise one is that if relative theory is correct, so relative theory RTC correct, then no object can travel forward in time.
Faster than speed of light.
Travel forward faster than light. I don't even know. Not.
Yes. But
Cool.
then you get this quantum mechanics is predicting that T travels faster than light. So T is in fact an object that can travel faster than the speed of light.
So travels faster than speed of light. So it's the opposite of number.
Yeah. So it like contradicts one.
Yep. And then what's our conclusion?
Thus, if relativity theory is correct, okay, so if it's correct,
so if RTC,
yep, like the first part, so if RTC is correct, then you either have the prediction about T is wrong,
and T is wrong, okay,
or you have T travels backwards in time. Okay, so it's either saying that it does not travel faster than the speed of light, or it travels backwards in time.
Excellent. So if I was going to paraphrase this, like we're saying like, hey, if our premise is like if relative theory is correct, no object can travel forward at this speed.
But it can travel backwards.
We don't know. Yeah, like we don't. Yeah. So then quantum says that T can travel faster than light. So then our conclusion is that if RTC is right, then either that prediction is wrong or it's going backwards.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and start with A.
Okay. According to the magazine article, the view that present-day English is the descendant from ancient Proto-Indo-European language is incorrect. Rather, English more likely descended from a Finno-Ugric language, judging from the similarities between English and other languages of the Finno-Ugric descent. I don't think that matches our reasoning. So you have this view that you have present-day English coming from Indo-European languages incorrect, so it's not right. But then it's more likely descended from something
I don't
else.
like ours isn't comparative. It's not relative. Like we don't have a more likely in our thing at all. And it's this or this, right?
Yeah, I feel like we have to show that
like if this is
for
true,
something to be right, it's either true or it's not true, or there's an alternative explanation for it.
So A is not correct.
Okay. If the defendant committed a crime, then either the defendant had a motive, okay, he had a motive, or the defendant is irrational. For only irrational persons act with no motive. If the psychologist is correct, then the defendant is not rational. The defendant has a strong motive. Thus, since there is no reason to disbelieve the evidence, the defendant is guilty. There's a lot. There's like too many like.
I don't like this one because our conclusion here is that the defendant is guilty. Like that doesn't follow our conclusion structure of like if like, it would have to say like if the defendant is guilty,
He
then
was
it
like
either like committed the
rational.
crime or was
Yeah.
irrational or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have to be our conclusion structure. So it's not B.
The human brain can survive without oxygen only for a few minutes, according to modern medicine. Surprisingly, a reliable witness reported that a shaman has survived for an entire week buried 5 feet underground. Thus, if modern medicine is not wrong, so it's if modern medicine is correct, either the witness is mistaken or the shaman's brain did not suffer any lack of oxygen. That could be true.
Yeah, I really like
Possibly.
this.
I like that. Yeah. I like how they put it as like not wrong. So it's like, okay, what does not wrong mean? Like
Yes, I need to pick
correct.
up on that quickly. So like the human brain can survive without without oxygen only for a few minutes according to modern medicine. So our modern medicine here
It's
is
like our relativity
theory
theory.
is correct. Yes. And then and like we can only do this for a few minutes. And then our reliable witness is
Saying otherwise.
yeah, and so they're like the quantum mechanics.
Yeah. And then you get this like, okay, but if modern medicine is right, not wrong, relativity theory is not wrong, it's correct, then you're either going to show that um quantum mechanics or like the witness is wrong, or that there's an alternative explanation.
Excellent.
Yeah, I like C a lot.
All
And
right,
then,
go ahead and go on to D.
okay, Alexander the Great was buried either in Alexandria or Siwa, Egypt. However, the burial place is more likely to be in Siwa. A limestone table engraved by Ptolemy, Alexander's lieutenant, was found in Siwa, attesting to Alexander's burial place. Again, it's kind of like, what was it, A, where you're comparing like more likely, most likely. It's like,
Yeah, the
doesn't
burial
really
place is more
matter for
likely to
us.
be here. Yeah, we're not saying like the relative theory is more likely to be correct than quantum mechanics. So it's not D.
And then if the Big Bang Theory is correct, the universe is currently expanding. I was like waiting for something else. The galaxies are moving away from each other and from the center of the original explosion. The same theory predicts that eventually the gravitational forces among
I don't
galaxies.
like this already because we're talking, we don't bring in like an
The
others opinion.
same theory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
continue
And
on.
also too, the reason why I was like, I was hoping there was like another part. I was like, oh, is correct. Then I'm waiting for like the or, right? Like you get the universe is currently expanding or
Yeah.
like not or something. I don't know.
And then it continues on that eventually the gravitational forces among galaxies will counter
Yeah, it
what
just
follows. At some point, it will stop expanding. Like, cool. Their conclusion is just it follows that at some point the universe will stop expanding. That doesn't follow our
that
conclusion
doesn't help.
at all.
Yeah, I agree.